community. She is everywhere. She is keenly aware of the potential we have as an institution and the privileged position we are in to serve our students and this community. Pamela's admiration for the mission of the foundation is also evident. The foundation provides more than $350,000 a year in student scholarships and supports other initiatives that enhance teaching and learning. I look forward to the opportunity to work with Pamela in my new role, and I am certain that we will reach new heights as we explore opportunities under Pamela's creative, energetic, and forward-thinking leadership. On behalf of the DCC Foundation, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to Dr. Pamela Edington.
And thank you, Carol. Dr. Edington has quickly extended the college's relationships with a number of community partners, among them the Eleanor Roosevelt Center at Valkill. By enhancing the ways in which the community partners and the college become we, our college expands opportunities for students and helps people throughout the region both contribute to and benefit from what we do here at Dutchess Community College. Speaking on behalf of our community partners is the Executive Director of the Eleanor Roosevelt Center at Valkill, Kathleen Dorham.
Good afternoon. I was both honored and proud to have been asked to speak today, but I was strategic in my thinking and asked not to follow Zoe. I'm going to share my thoughts with you about creating a world of possibility, transformation, and excellence for the communities in which we live. Professor John W. Gardner said, "No society can remain vital or even survive without a reasonable base of shared values. Where community exists, it confers upon its members identity, a sense of belonging, and a measure of security. A community has the power to motivate its members to exceptional performance. And community can set standards for expectations for the individual and provide the climate in which great things happen. Life for each of us lives in different communities, each of which requires shared values. There is the community of home, the community of church, the community of work, the community at large, and of course, the community of school. The commonality of each of these communities, no matter the community, is a community of individuals. And as individuals, each one of us has an obligation to develop our physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual capacities to their fullest so that we can be of service to that community. And why are we obligated to do that? Because we are always present in one of those communities. And excellent communities are only created when each person in the community takes responsibility for developing his or her physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual capacities to the best of their ability. And when this happens, the community and we are made stronger for it. In other words, personal responsibility, not reliance on what they or they are not doing, makes the difference in transforming communities. And I say that because we have the lovely Dr. Edington. Dr. Edington needs each of us to do our personal best to make sure that this community college continues to do its personal best. I believe Mr. Gardner's belief about what is needed for excellence is reflected in the vision and mission of Dutchess Community College, which is Dutchess aspires to be an innovative, transformative community of learners that promotes exemplary student success. It offers educational opportunities that prepare individuals to realize their full potential and contribute to a diverse and global society. The college's values of accountability, excellence, collaboration, and diversity are key components for creating a world of possibility, transformation, and excellence. And we at the Eleanor Roosevelt Center at Valkill share the vision, mission, and values of Dutchess Community College. And we are particularly delighted and honored that we have been the beneficiaries of its talented students and staff through our Eleanor Roosevelt Community College Emerging Leaders Program. Eleanor Roosevelt had a history with Dutchess Community College, and it continues that history through our collaboration and the Excel community. It also continues that history under the enlightened leadership of Dr. Edington. And I thought, when I read this quote, that there are two quotes that I feel express her leadership. And one was actually made by a man, and I was surprised because parts of it men generally think we shouldn't do that. And I'll leave it to you guys to figure out which part that is. So, and the quote was, no creature can fly with just one wing. Gifted leadership occurs where heart and head, feeling and thought meet. These are the two things that allow a leader to soar. And the second quote by none other than our muse, Eleanor Roosevelt, to handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. And in my world, Dr. Edington soars. Finally, the real secret for me, from my perspective, and I share this with the girls in our program and my staff in creating a possibility, is that it was said by none other than Michael Jackson. You remember him, the glove guy? So, if you want to make Dutchess Community College a place of transformation, possibility, and excellence, if you want the world to be a better place, take a look in the mirror and make the change. Enjoy the journey. Thank you, Dr. Edington.
And we do thank you, Kathleen. While many of us quickly felt a great confidence in Dr. Edington's commitment to our college, there are other people who have witnessed the evolution of her beliefs and values, who have seen how she acts on those values over time. One of those people, Dr. Donna Killian Duffy, has been her academic colleague for 31 years. Dr. Duffy is a retired professor of psychology from Middlesex Community College in Massachusetts and is with us this afternoon. Dr. Duffy?
For almost 30 years, I have known Pamela as a colleague and friend. We shared an office when we began at Middlesex Community College, and then had offices next door to each other for all the years that followed. Pamela and I would usually greet each other in the morning and trade stories about our families, events going on at campus, and things happening around the world. We worked on many projects together, learned a great deal from each other, and developed a close and trusting relationship over time. As I was trying to come up with an image to capture Pamela's qualities, I thought about an Ethiopian proverb that we often used when we were doing service learning presentations together. The proverb states, "When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion." I think this proverb captures the essence of Pamela's masterful skills at creating connections among faculty, students, administrators, and the community in very innovative ways. She would always seem to find a partnership in the community or create an initiative at the college that would unite many spider webs together. And from hearing the speakers before me, it sounds like she's busy doing that here already. But in our community, she wrote a grant, a Learn and Serve grant, to create a new partnership between Middlesex Community College, the Lowell National Historic Park, and Minuteman National Historical Park. Following the grant and the creation of what's known as the Lowell Civic Collaborative, faculty and students are now working regularly with park interpreters. In addition, the Lowell Civic Collaborative Guidebook, which was created from this project, it describes projects that are happening or have happened between community colleges and national parks. This resource is on the National Park website. I've traveled around the country and talked to many students, faculty, and park interpreters who are using this guidebook as a way to start programs in their local settings. Talk about spider webs uniting. The fragile and nearly invisible nature of a spider web represents, for me, Pamela's approach to respecting and honoring the worth of each individual. I have watched Pamela support people in many different ways to gently encourage them to see the strength in making connections. But then, she lets individuals devise their own unique webs and fades into the background, so others receive credit for the work. Meeting other faculty in the hallways, I would often hear them say, "You know, I had the beginning of an idea, and Pamela helped me to make it happen without telling me how I had to do it." That's important for faculty, for those of you who are in here. I think the lion image of the proverb reminds me most of Pamela's deep and enduring commitment to the common good. As a psychologist, I tend to focus more on individual issues, but Pamela would always direct me back to the larger societal problems, the lions, such as unemployment, homelessness, discrimination, that face many of our students. We all know how hard it is to tie up these lions on our own. Pamela is a leader who follows Chief Seattle's advice that whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. I have learned a lot from Pamela's remarkable ability to create strong connections across groups of people, her respect for each individual, and her deep commitment to the common good. Pamela will be a collaborative and caring president who will work hard with all of you to strengthen the webs in and around Dutchess Community College and to help tie up more lions in the years ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Duffy. And we do feel those webs. Dr. Edington would not be the leader that she is were it not for her family. Among her significant contributions and accomplishments are a 34-year marriage to William Edington. Bill Edington has himself had a long, distinguished career in research and administration at several New England institutions of higher education. She is mother to Billy and Claire. Billy Edington is a digital marketing manager for North America at Soho House. She's also a singer-songwriter who was classically trained and performs regularly throughout New York City. Claire Edington received her PhD in Sociomedical Sciences from Columbia University and is an assistant professor of history at the University of Massachusetts, Boston. I'm pleased to present Dr. Claire Edington.
On my first visit to Dutchess Community College last fall, my mother took me on a tour of the different buildings and offices. We got lost. My mother excels at many things, but she has a terrible sense of direction. As we made our way across the campus, pretending like we knew east from west, I was introduced to dozens of her new colleagues. My mother might not have known where we were going, but she did know everyone's names. The common refrain, besides how much we looked alike, was how much my mother had energized the college in the short time since her arrival. This was not a surprise to me. Something I've always admired about my mom is her ability to see the world from the perspectives of others, to understand the diverse kinds of challenges and hardships they may face, while also imbuing those around her with a sense of optimism and purpose. Her enthusiasm is infectious, and it was clear to me as we rounded the library for perhaps the third time, searching for a shortcut across campus, that she had found a new kind of home here. From an early age, my parents instilled in both my sister Billy and I strong values in education and the importance of civic engagement and social activism. My mom lives these principles in her career as an educator and now president of a community college. Her commitment to service learning as a way of combining classroom instruction with outreach to the community reflects a more expansive vision of what education could and should look like. I am just now finishing my first year teaching as an assistant professor of history at the University of Massachusetts, Boston. At least half my students graduated from community colleges or have pursued other more non-traditional paths to a four-year university education. The experience has been uniquely challenging and also incredibly rewarding. I've realized that my role extends well beyond preparing lectures and grading papers. I've come to appreciate that my students are more than just students. They are parents, veterans, employees, volunteers, patients, and community leaders. Some are straight out of high school and others are older than I am. In order for my students to succeed, I need to treat them as a whole person. My mom taught me that and so much more. I was recently described by a colleague and friend as a marshmallow with a spine of steel. And it occurred to me that the same thing could be said about my mother. She is empathetic and ambitious, sweet and serious, unassuming and intelligent, accommodating and a force to be reckoned with. My sister and I have always looked up to our mother as a model of how to balance a professional career and motherhood, and to see her achieve a lifelong dream today is a dream come true for us as well. I'm very grateful to have been included as part of the ceremony. Not often is one given the opportunity to honor a parent, and I can't think of a better time than this on the day of her inauguration as president of Dutchess Community College. I love you.
This is a great day in the life of Dutchess Community College. We are here to witness a formal rite of passage and a ceremonial induction into an office. On behalf of Dr. Nancy Zimpher, Chancellor of the State University of New York, Vice Chancellor Joanna Duncan Portier will officially bestow the power of the office upon Dr. Pamela R. Edington. Mr. LeGrand and SUNY Chairman McCall will assist. I invite Joanna Duncan Portier to the podium.
I have some very important official words to share with all of you. But before I do, I just have to say that we just love Pam. She has been at the campus already for a very short period of time, but we feel as if we know her very, very well. As folks were speaking about following Zoe and following the jazz band, oh dear God, following her daughter? How beautiful all of the remarks are and how appropriate. I personally often think of Pam as a mild-mannered powerhouse. She is creative, she is innovative, but she is strong. She is going to take this campus to new heights, and I congratulate the Board of Trustees on their decision. She is awesome, and I am channeling Zoe. Our colleagues that are here, the other presidents from the State University of New York, are very, very proud to have her as a colleague. And with that, I go to the official words. Dr. Pamela Edington, you have the most important privilege and responsibility of leading the State University of New York's Dutchess Community College, founded in 1957, to the fulfillment of its great promise as one of the premier community colleges in the state of New York. As Chief Executive Officer, you are assigned all powers, duties, and responsibilities appropriate to the post. The Board of Trustees, the Chancellor, and I are confident that under your leadership, this institution, pursuing the highest traditions of teaching, scholarship, and public service, will continue its dedication to the great state of New York, to the nation, and to the world. By virtue of the authority vested in me on behalf of the Chancellor of the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York, I now present to you, friends of the college, the fifth president of the State University of New York, Dutchess Community College, Dr. Pam Edington. All right, can we do the...
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Okay. They very cleverly hid a cup of water for me in a Dutchess mug, tissues. Before I actually start my remarks, I have to say, since I've been here, and I've been on the job for almost 10 months now, and everything was going really well, and people will keep referring to this honeymoon phase that I'm in. They sort of like, well, you're in the honeymoon, right? But then today, as I was talking to people before the ceremony, people were saying, oh, this is really like a wedding, you had all these people and everything. So I got thinking, honeymoon, wedding, so courtship is next. So I'm available for dates. That's it. It's the best part. I have a pretty vivid imagination, but I could never have imagined anything more meaningful, beautiful, and fulfilling than this moment. To hear all of these people say things about me, really is very humbling. I hate to follow every one of them, and to follow them as a group, including our wonderful musicians, is really more than I can bear. This is a fabulous moment. In a couple of weeks, when we graduate 1,000 students from Dutchess Community College, it'll be even better. So as far as I'm concerned, this is really the pre-party. Right. I'd like to begin by extending my thanks to the Platform Party, SUNY Board Chair McCall, Vice Chancellor Duncan Portier, DC Board Chair, the best
board chair in the state of New York, Tom LeGrand, the entire board of trustees, and those representing our faculty, staff, students, our foundation, the county, community, friends, and my family. And special thanks to our student musicians for sharing their talents with us. You guys rock. You're really fabulous. And to the Inauguration Committee, chaired by Barbara Hugo and Carol Gordon, your careful attention to detail, creativity, and kindness was exceptional. And of course, I'm grateful to every one of you for taking the time to be with us today. Until this moment in time, I thought there was only one circumstance in which you saw your life pass before your eyes, okay? Now I know there's two, near death and inauguration. And I hope I'm right about that, because otherwise, I think the chair of our nursing program is here. She better check my blood pressure. Because from my vantage point, I'm seeing my early life, and I'm glad you're kind of in the dark, because if I could actually see my brothers and sisters clearly, I would need those tissues. I'm seeing my early life in the form of all 6 of my brothers and sisters, Gary, Carlotta, Linda, Dr. Linda, who preceded me in our family, and Jeff, Mary, and Peter, who succeeded me in our family. I am most definitely a middle child. My siblings have come from Wyoming, Minnesota, Maryland, and Florida. And truthfully, it's my siblings who know best how far I have come in order to stand here today. That's why we didn't ask them to speak. And I trust they won't feel compelled to share family secrets in the reception afterwards. I can only imagine how proud our parents, Peter and Rose Edington, who have both passed away, would be to know that I made something of myself. Our father had only an 8th grade education, but he would say that he earned advanced degrees from the University of Hard Work. We learned our work ethic as children from Dad. Our mother, Our mother, who had a high school diploma when she married Dad, eventually entered college as an adult and ultimately earned a master's degree. We learned from her never to let go of our dreams. Both Mom and Dad would be thrilled that all 7 of their children have had success on their own terms and that we are able to share the joy of this occasion with each other. And then there's the family of my own making. My husband, Bill, who has been the single most influential person in my life for 34 years. And our daughters, Claire and Billy, both are accomplished and kind young women who are on a trajectory to undoubtedly and rightfully surpass their parents' accomplishments. The 3 of them are simply the loves of my life. I'm also looking at dear, dear friends and colleagues from my previous college experiences in Massachusetts and Connecticut. I'm grateful to every one of you for making the trip to mark this important occasion with me. I owe all of you and so many more past colleagues a debt of gratitude for helping me to become a better educator, a better leader, and a better person. Your collaboration, your inspirations, patience, exceptionally good work, and unfailing support helped put me in this position today. And then there are my newest colleagues, faculty, staff, students, trustees, peers, and community members who have embraced my family and me, and pets and all, to Dutchess County with generosity and tremendous kindness. And I also want to personally recognize the other college presidents who have welcomed me into their circle. I am delighted to be in your company. Since coming to Poughkeepsie, I was quoted in a local paper as saying, "No one does it alone." Now you've heard and can see what I mean. Thank you all so very much for what you have done and are doing to support me. That was part one. The inauguration of a college president is a singular opportunity to reflect on both the history and the future of an institution. I recognize the privilege I have been accorded with the opportunity to be the fifth, and wait for it, the first female president to lead Dutchess Community College, and never tire of that. And I trust there are many other firsts to come as president of Dutchess Community College. But I'm following in the footsteps of 4 accomplished presidents: James Hall, John Connolly, Jerry Lee, and D. David Conklin. Each of them has left a lasting legacy in the form of programs established, buildings erected, partnerships advanced, and resources developed. I think more importantly, though, it is the people who are hired during an administration that best represent a president's legacy. I have met scores of the faculty and staff, retired and current, who were hired by my predecessors and who have unselfishly dedicated the majority of their lives to this institution. I have a solid foundation upon which to build and a high bar to reach. It's hard not to slip into hyperbole in describing the impact Dutchess Community College has had on individual lives and this community as a whole. To date, more than 43,000 degrees have been granted, and more than 172,000 individuals have earned credits here. When you consider the additional hundreds of thousands who have participated in community service offerings, events, and activities, it's the rare household in this area that has not had direct interaction with our college. Graduates of Dutchess have gone on to become artists, social activists, architects, educators, lawyers, judges, nurses, engineers, entrepreneurs, CEOs, teachers, community volunteers, civil servants, and county executives. Even a fighter pilot, I found out recently, who got his start in our aviation program. There also are police officers and firefighters. And at this time, I'd like us to take a moment to remember Timothy Gunther, a heroic firefighter and former DCC student and SUNY New Paltz graduate, who died Monday while battling a fatal fire in the city of Poughkeepsie. On our distinguished alumni wall of fame downstairs are outstanding examples of the talent that has been identified and cultivated at Dutchess Community College over the years. You know them because of their extensive community involvement, and many of them are here with us today. Could I please ask that all Dutchess Community College alumni please stand? Look at that. More than half of our graduates choose to remain in the Mid-Hudson Valley to live, work, play, and worship. They establish families, raise children, pay taxes, and invest in our community. Imagine how life in Dutchess County would be different had there not been forward-thinking leaders who advocated for the development of a local community college. Significantly fewer people would have been able to pursue a higher education. Those who did go on to college would have paid more and had more debt. There would be fewer businesses, less civic participation, less social mobility, less hope, and fewer dreams fulfilled. Community colleges are invaluable assets that transform the lives of individuals and of entire communities, and I am so proud to work at a community college. The public financial investment in Dutchess Community College is repaid in multiples by the engaged citizenship and economic productivity of our students, alumni, and workforce. Community colleges are an exceptional investment. worthy of tax dollars, private philanthropy, and all manner of individual and community support. We are public institutions. We are of the people. We are by the people. We are for the people. And I am also incredibly proud to lead an institution that is part of the State University of New York. As you heard, we are the largest comprehensive public higher education in the country. Under the leadership of Chancellor Zimpher and the SUNY board, the power of our 64 campus system is being leveraged to drive economic growth in New York State. Individually and collectively, our SUNY institutions have a profound and positive impact on the communities we serve. Since coming to Dutchess County and getting to know more about its rich history, I've taken to quoting Hudson Valley notables. Given that the Roosevelts were a family of local importance with lasting impact on the nation and the world, I often hearken back to their ideas and words to guide me. As Kathleen Durham from Valkill knows, I mostly look to Eleanor Roosevelt for inspiration. And one of the things that Eleanor said that I've quoted is, do something every day that scares you. Well, Eleanor, this is it. But actually, today I have a quote from the other Roosevelt. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, "I do not look upon these United States as a finished product. We are still in the making." His words seem just as applicable to Dutchess Community College, so now I would like to suggest what's in the making here. In refreshing the college's vision, mission, values, and goals, our campus community recently identified 5 essential core values that will guide our decision-making going forward. Those values are excellence, access, diversity, collaboration, and accountability. We value excellence because whether a student attends Dutchess Community College as a foundation for additional education, or seeks it out as a pathway for career preparation, or looks to it as a source of ongoing enrichment, ensuring that all students receive an education that contributes to their personal and professional growth, remains the litmus test of our success. While the role of president is an important one, I am reminded on a daily basis by our students that it is the faculty and staff who are key to sustaining academic excellence and student success. Just want to give you an example of the kind of dedicated faculty we have. Tomorrow, one of our faculty will travel to a neighboring state at the invitation of a former student who is graduating with his MBA. That they've stayed in touch for 10 years and that he's getting his master's are impressive. But what's truly remarkable is that this student walked here every day from his home in the city of Poughkeepsie, did his homework on the bus, and managed to excel with very few resources. This motivated young man found at DCC, as so many other students do, a caring, committed family that provided an outstanding academic foundation, encouragement, and sometimes even food. He exemplifies the struggles that many of our students face and the successes that can and do happen in our transformative environment, thanks to our caring and dedicated faculty and staff. Yeah. Our students are accomplishing things they never thought possible. You may have seen last Sunday's Poughkeepsie Journal, in which we featured students who recently won national recognition in the areas of art, theater, leadership, and science. They're high achievers for sure, but we know that our faculty was instrumental in their success. So now I would like all of our faculty and staff who are here in the audience with us today, please stand so that we can recognize your contribution. Thank you. This is why we recruit educators who have a passion for the community college mission, and why we need to ensure they are compensated for their education, experience, and good work, and that we also support their continuous professional growth and renewal. I thought you'd like that. Providing access to post-secondary education has always been fundamental to the community college mission. By providing an open door to higher education, we enable and encourage anyone of any age or background to pursue an education beyond high school. Dutchess Community College enrolls an impressive 38% of the county's college-bound high school graduates. It might seem like our students and alumni are everywhere, well, just because they are. More of our county students attend Dutchess Community College than any other single educational institution anywhere. We are committed to keeping the college affordable through modest tuition and fee increases, comprehensive financial aid and financial literacy programs, along with privately funded scholarships and grants. Earlier this week, one of the college's major benefactors, Charlie Conklin, presented the DCC Foundation with a gift of $800,000 in memory of his late wife, Betty. The Conklins established a scholarship 11 years ago that enables students who graduate in the top 10% of their Dutchess County High School to attend this institution free of tuition and fees. More than 375 students have benefited from the scholarship, and the Conklins' now $2 million investment will ensure that there are resources to support motivated and gifted students at DCC for years to come. Charlie and Betty didn't do it for the recognition. They do it because they love our students and they wanted to help support our mission. Charlie is with us today. He's in the audience, and so please join me in thanking and recognizing his generosity. Thank you. Diversity is also one of our core values because we believe that higher education has a moral imperative to foster an understanding of multiple cultures and an appreciation of the full range of individual differences within our society. It's more important than ever that our graduates are able to embrace the benefits of living and working in a diverse world. As educators, we are in a unique position to incorporate understanding throughout the curriculum, to model civil discourse in our classrooms, offices, and hallways, and to explore and celebrate differences, and to demonstrate effective conflict resolution. Therefore, we will continue to diversify our faculty and staff, invite international students to study with us, support travel abroad programs for our students, and build on the success of the lectures supported by the Handel Family Foundation. We will bring more speakers, programs, and resources to campus that enlighten and challenge us to think differently, as our county executive, Mark Molinaro, would say, so that we all feel more connected to and compassionate toward others. And that gives me a time to take some water. Another one of our core values is collaboration. Returning to an earlier theme in my remarks, no one does it alone. Collaboration is an essential element of successful organizations. I have been working to ensure that everyone has a voice and a stake in the success of Dutchess Community College. We will create and utilize decision-making processes that are transparent and genuinely inclusive, and in doing so, enhance organizational effectiveness and job satisfaction while we cultivate a positive campus climate. We are establishing and maintaining strategic community partnerships through which intellectual, social, and financial resources can be leveraged to meet the needs of Dutchess County. For example, we are partnering with the City of Poughkeepsie School District, along with Central Hudson Gas and Electric and the Chasen Companies and SUNY New Paltz on a local P-TECH program. Students in the P-TECH program earn both a high school diploma and an associate's degree within 6 years without any cost to their families, and they benefit from workplace mentors, internships, and job opportunities. We especially value our SUNY New Paltz connection as it is the single most popular transfer school for our graduates. And their president, Don Christian, is here. And I thank you, Tom, for your collaboration. We are also looking to expand partnerships with other four-year institutions. We want to create more programs like Bridges to Excellence, which is designed to facilitate previously underprepared students transferred to and success at Marist College, the most popular private baccalaureate institution for DCC graduates. And we also collaborate with Vassar College. Just last month, a joint delegation of Dutchess Community College students and Vassar students joined thousands of others at the 2015 National Model United Nations in New York City. Our group, Dutchess Community College and Vassar, working side to side under the leadership of two of our Dutchess Community College faculty, won the Outstanding Delegation Award as well as 7 Outstanding Position Paper Awards. Thank you, Cappy Hill, for being here too. We believe there also is unlimited potential for mutually beneficial partnerships with community-based organizations. By working with local agencies, we can offer the talents of our faculty, staff, and students, even a president, to meet community-identified needs and foster student engagement in applied learning settings. We plan to develop a center for civic and community engagement that will facilitate effective and sustainable relationships with a full range of community organizations. As a first step, we recently joined New York Campus Compact, an organization of college and university presidents committed to integrating student public service into the curriculum. The compact will assist us this summer to link the needs of community organizations with our curriculum and student learning outcomes. I know there are friends from several local nonprofits here. I'd like you to please stand. Would our community nonprofit organization please stand? You will be hearing from us. Ultimately, every DCC student will have multiple opportunities to apply what they are learning in our classrooms to the broader community. Through service and applied learning, we will cultivate lifelong habits of civic engagement and volunteerism in our graduates. And finally, I'm sure you liked hearing that word. And finally, we chose accountability as one of our 5 institutional values to underscore our recognition that as a public institution, we have an obligation to be good stewards of scarce public resources. We must be tireless in our commitment to consistently improve outcomes for students and to do so with creativity and innovation. So you see, our institution will always be a college in the making, continuously striving to be a better community resource and asset. And guiding our decision-making and my leadership as president of the college will be our 4 core values. In closing, I'd like to share one of my most enduring first impressions of Dutchess Community College, and that is that it sits majestically on the top of a hill. Yeah, the people who laughed are the ones who walked up the steps. Well, this idea of it being at the top of the hill, it reminded me of the reflections of John Winthrop. He's a New England immigrant who, upon approaching the port city of Boston, where he and his fellow passengers intended to launch a new social compact and become a model for future settlements in the New World, Winthrop addressed his shipmates and said, "We shall be as a city upon a hill. The eyes of all people are upon us." Well, we welcome your eyes upon Dutchess Community College, and we hope you share our excitement about what's in the making here. And as you've heard earlier, this is our community, this is our college, this is our future, and I thank you for being here today.
Pamela, would you please come to the podium?
Yes, Tom. Here's the chair of the board.
She's like walking around with a rock star.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
If I spend enough time with her, I'm going to develop a self-confidence problem. Anyway, Pamela, it's a great pleasure to be with you today. You've heard, the public here has heard a lot about you and your ability to connect with people and to identify opportunities for linkages that make our campus and community stronger. And it's already strong, and she's going to build on much success. Our new president builds bridges, and as chairman of the board, I am delighted to present Pamela with a gift in commemoration of this wonderful inaugural day. May these locally handcrafted bookends in the shape of the Mid-Hudson Bridge and inscripted with Pamela R. Edington, President, and today's date always serve as a reminder of this meaningful occasion and symbolize our community's official welcome to you. And I want to congratulate you, and it's a sincere pleasure to get to know you and to get to work with you. You're the best. Thank you.
And as we prepare to leave in the aura and the spirit of community, I ask that you stand for the benediction and invite the Reverend Cale Berger to the podium.
And finally, blessings abound, and we need them. And we're all privileged to be here today. So go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Show honor to all. The Holy Commission and blessing is offered to all in attendance here today, and may the blessing remain with you and with your newly inaugurated president for all the days to come. And all the people said, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated and stay seated for the academic recessional. We invite you to join us at a reception for Dr. Edington in the Greenspan Dining Room in Drumlin Hall. We also extend our appreciation to the Presidential Inaugural Committee, Barbara Hugo and Carol Gordon, to the Presidential Search Committee, chaired by former trustee Vincent Damaso, and to the employees, students, volunteers, and friends who all worked so hard to make this event memorable. And thank you for coming once again to celebrate our community, our college, and our future. Will those in the academic recessional, please stand?
somebody's stuff in it. Oh, okay. You're gonna push it over. It's not a bad idea. Right here.
What's up? I'm halfway done through the president's inauguration.
It doesn't make any sense. The only reason I'm moving out there is because
Alright, well, the second I'm done here, I'll give it back to the guys. And I'm coming back. Or the Jakes, wherever you guys are.
Yeah. We're gonna use that to load some stuff into there. We're going out the loading dock and around, guys.
Oh yeah,